Okay, I'm going to assume you did okay with the chord changes for Mr. Tambourine Man. And now we're going to continue on with the arrangement part of the bridge. So far you have this, the intro. Then into the song at letter A. And then that repeats. So on and so forth. I just noticed I don't actually have the I have the repeat sign, but I didn't put the dots in at that repeat. I'm assuming you still knew to repeat there, and then go to the second ending. So coming out of the second ending, okay, now we're going to go into the B part where the vocal is, if you're following along with that Byrds version. I believe the words are, "Take me for a trip upon your magic sailing ship." That's where we're starting in the arrangement. So we've ended on this chord here. Okay, now we're going to go up to the 8th fret of the B string and the 7th fret of the high E string. So what we'll do is we'll slide that finger from the 3rd fret where it is now all the way up to the 8th fret of the B string, and we'll drop the middle finger to get the 7th fret of the E and play the 2 open strings along with it for, that's a G chord. That would be the word take on Take Me for a Trip. Okay, so once again we're coming off that D chord. And then we slide up to that at letter B. Okay, now from there we're going up to the 12th and 10th fret. So what we'll do is that ring finger now, right there on the 8th fret, will slide up to the 12th fret, and the first finger will pick up the 10th fret of the high E string. And we do that twice. And then that ring finger will slide down to the 10th fret, and where our middle finger will pick up the 9th fret. Okay? I'll play it all from letter B. So from letter B, it would sound like this. Once again, if you're following along with the song, that would be Take Me for a. Okay? So I'll put that together in context with the other part, the end of the second ending. Okay? Once again, that looks like this. Now we get to that last measure in that line, and what we have is we have open 7, 6, 5, 7. So what that is that's this little A chord right here. So we have the open 7, 6, 5, 7 with our pinky. So the chord is, but what we want to do is we want to make sure that the first finger is on that half bar, because we're going to be lifting up that pinky and going to the 5th fret of that high E string like this. Okay, so that's what that'll look like and sound like. Okay, so going back to the beginning of letter B, starting here on the open 8/7, we have so that would be take me for a trip upon your. Okay? When we're coming off that, let's look at the fingering there. Starting at B, we have there's not much, there's not a huge connection going from this to that A chord. Your first finger is going to just kind of slide down there to the 5th fret and create that half bar, but you just kind of got to make the change there and drop your pinky. Playing it from letter B again. Okay, now we're on the bottom line. I want to point out that the bottom line is going to repeat. I have the repeat sign there, so you'll play that bottom line, and then you'll play the bottom line again before you go on to the next sheet. Okay, so we're here on this A chord, and now we're going to go to a D chord, and the way we want to play that is just drop that first finger down to the 5th fret, use the ring finger on the 7th fret, and the second finger on the 7th fret of the G string, and then we have the open D, which creates this D chord. Okay? That's what I'm recommending, because after you play this chord, you got to play the 7th fret of the high E. Now you could do it with these fingers if you find that easier, and then just drop that pinky down. And then you lift that pinky up, and then you play the 7th fret of the B string. The reason I was suggesting using these fingers is because then all you have to do is just put that pinky down and then up, and then everything else stays where it is, like this. So I would really recommend playing it that way, even if it's a little bit of an odd stretch and doesn't sound great at first. I would suggest using this fingering, first finger, ring finger, middle finger, for that first chord in that bottom line. Because then what we're going to do is when we go to the next chord, the G chord, we're just going to slide that ring finger down to the 3rd fret, put our middle finger down here on the low G, and get that G chord, which is 3, dead, open, open, 3. Now you have that little line that goes back up to the 7, and all that means is we're going to slide that finger from the 3rd fret after we play this G chord. Just slide it back up and play that 7th fret again with the ring finger. Put the first finger down on the 5th fret, and then we're back to this chord again. Open 7, 7, 5. And then we're going to slide back down to the G. And then we're going to repeat that whole line, so that ring finger is going to slide back up. And then the D chord in. And back up. Okay? So that's why this fingering is good, because you're basically going from this chord, talking about just that bottom line now. We're going from this chord, dropping the pinky down, sliding down to the G chord, sliding the pinky back up, making that D chord again, doing a little pinky move, sliding back down, sliding back up, sliding back down, so on and so forth. That move happens a lot in this song. Let me go ahead and play it from letter B. Okay, so once again, the vocal there would be, take me for a trip upon your magic swirling ship. I think all my senses have been stripped and my hands can't feel the grip and my toes too numb to step, something like that. Anyway, I'll go ahead and play it from letter B, doing the repeat on that bottom line. Repeating. And then we would go on to the next sheet, which is still that D chord again. But it's a little different. It goes 5, 7, 5, 5. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and play the song from the beginning. I'll play the intro, I'll play letter A, do the repeat, go to the second ending, and then go to letter B and repeat that final line on the page. So from the beginning we would have second ending. Letter B. And then, like I said, from there it'll go back to that D chord, which will be on part of the next lesson. Because I know this is going to be tricky, and it's really important that you get this portion of the song down. But I'm just telling you, after you do that repeat, then just go back to that D chord right there, because that's what's going to be happening next. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and play it one more time, just to give you something to play along with. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I noticed is that when you repeat the intro, you actually leave out that last note. Nope, you don't. I'm sorry. I take that back. You play it exactly as written. Let me go ahead and play that again, because I was actually not playing that with the right timing. So here we go. I'm sorry, the first time that I played through this for you to do a play along, I actually didn't play the correct timing on the intro. So once again, I'm just going to start over and play it from the beginning, and this will be a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second ending. Letter B. Repeat. And then just go to that D chord. Okay? So learn that while you're at it. That little first finger on the 5th fret, 7, 7, and the open D. D chord. Okay? Which is very useful in songs in the key of D when you're doing an arrangement. Okay? So I hope you're feeling better from your Moderna vaccination, second shot. And good for you for getting the shot. I'm a fan of the shot. I think it's an important vaccine to get, just my opinion. And we'll hope that you're doing well. And if you have any questions about this, let me know. And I hope that you're playing the chords along with that version on YouTube. And once you actually get good at this, you could actually play the arrangement along with that also. And I don't know how far along you are on this, but once again, there is that speed slowdown feature. So you could try playing it with at a slower speed, depending on where you're at. Okie doke, any questions, let me know. Talk to you later.